Hello everyone and welcome to session 3 of the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle. My name is Randie Henderson and I am one of the Black Feminist Reading Circle members of this online group. This session runs from January 20th until June 2nd and includes 2 week-long breaks. Our democratically selected reading material is Harriet A. Washington's book, Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present. Our book group meets each Tuesday evening from 6:30 to 8 on the Google Plus Hangouts on Air platform. You may find the Global Black Feminist Reader Circle on Google Plus, YouTube, and Facebook, and always feel free to join us in reading our story together.
Welcome everyone to the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle. We are here on Google Plus each Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are currently in session 3, reading our 3rd book, Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present. And you can learn more about us at our community page on Google Plus. or our archived videos on YouTube or on our Facebook page. This session is running through June 16th, 2015, which means we are coming on down the road. And tonight, we are going to be reading Chapter 13, Infection and Inequity, Illness as a Crime. My name is Michelle Odom. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Reading Circle, along with Randie Danielle Henderson, and I'm located in Brooklyn, New York.
Hello, my name is Randie and I am watching from Atlanta. And I'm again happy to see everybody tonight.
My name is Venita Walker and I'm joining you from Connecticut. Welcome to the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle.
Hey everyone.
IGL.
Georgette Moses, participating from Columbia, South Carolina. And I'm glad my power came back on so I could join you all.
Yes, hi everyone. Hope you're feeling well. I'm calling you from Utah. Oh, I'm Kim Brandon, and I'm in New York also.
I'm Joel Jones from Charleston, South Carolina. How's everybody doing?
We good.
Good.
Summary. In Chapter 13, author Harriet A. Washington offers an overview of public health responses to two major contagions, tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS. She highlights the ways in which these responses have played out very differently for African Americans and our children than for whites, including use of containment therapy or hospital imprisonment to force victims to adhere to a particular schedule of medication, the use of Black babies and children as research subjects to discover vaccines and cures when they have been orphaned or come under control of the state, and lack of interest in drugs that appear to primarily hold promise for Blacks. She includes examples to illustrate how biased research, inequitable and inhumane policies, and dangerous abuse of powers have shaped the uncomfortably close relationship between African Americans and infectious disease. Unhealthy places and decadent times infect us by their contagion.
Children with HIV are increasingly finding that their status is that of involuntary research subjects, not victims. In December 2004, for example, the journal Nature Medicine reported that since the early 1990s, HIV-positive orphans have been the subjects of dozens of national clinical trials run by researchers at Columbia University Medical Center and the other New York City area hospitals. Mammoth pharmaceutical corporations such as GlaxoSmithKline have sponsored the testing of antiretroviral and other pharmaceuticals on scores of HIV-infected orphans housed in New York City's Incarnation Children's Center, the ICC. This institution for the HIV-infected is run by Catholic Charities in Washington Heights. The ICC orphans were born to HIV-positive mothers, and their parents either are dead or have been deemed unfit to care for them by the courts. Think about all the African American infants and children in research trials to understand the toxicity levels for various drugs, and the foster adoptive parents who step up to end the trials, only to find that the children themselves belong to the city, and the city wants the trials to continue with reckless abandon toward children in foster care. Do you have any ideas about how these children could be protected?
first of all, the social workers need to step up. They're good for writing reports and taking away people's children, but they need to step up to the plate and seek legal advocacy and action for these abandoned children. I think that's part of their task. Get into court and help these children to be protected instead of us victims of racist medical apartheid.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, I didn't even know this existed, and I think that the more it's publicized, the better it is for these children. So I don't know if it has died down, but I think definitely putting it out there, and I think like we were talking about before, that these kids need an advocate who are not necessarily paid from that same pot of the foster care system.
Well, it was, if you don't mind, the numbers. In 2010, it was estimated 217 children younger than the age of 13 were diagnosed with HIV in 42 states. At the end of 2009, an estimated 10,000 persons who were diagnosed with HIV were younger than the age of 13 in 46 states. HIV reporting states, of the 9,000, 88% of the persons acquired HIV during pregnancy, and these diagnosed HIV infections, 63% were black, African American, 22% were Hispanics, 13% were whites. These numbers includes all persons of all ages who were infected with HIV children. The number of women with HIV given birth in the United States increased approximately 30% from 6,000 to 7,000 in the year 2000 and 8,700 in 2006. Those are the numbers.
It said 88% in pregnancy. And that takes us back to the condoms.
Yeah. Well, yeah, condoms are, it could be a whole list of things. Condoms and drugs, you know, you can't tell. I mean,
That's true.
it could be drugs or whatever, you know.
That's true.
I think one of those, yeah, you know, so I don't know.
This was the heartbreaking section for me to read.
Well, I don't think they want to stop it when you look at how, I mean, let's think about what we had listened to, what we had read earlier. Virginia has apologized for one of the atrocities they had. What was that they did in Virginia? Experimenting on people and sterilizing people. So if they feel if they can kill the children, they'll stop the population.
Yeah, sounds like
I mean,
genocide.
yeah, I mean, if you look at that number, if you 88%, you put it this way: if you got a disease here, a disease there, or you know, a disease here, or like someone said one time, if you have a cut here, and a cut there, pretty soon you'll bleed to death.
Okay.
So if you put a disease over here and a disease, if you got diseases over here, and then you got a justice system over here, and then you got prison system over here, and then you got black on black crime over here, and then you got economic impoverishment over here, and then you got you know, education over here. You know. And so what? 2 or 3% will live, but you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case, and you know, I agree with Kim about increasing our awareness. But as as Joelle is saying, there's just so much that's going on. You know, it's hard to really even think through um, a response. And what was so heartbreaking about this story to me is, you know, some of these children have foster parents who care about them and are fighting to protect them. But the state, you know, the state is just
adamant.
yeah, robbing them of parental rights, you know, robbing them of control, and just determined to get these babies into the clinical trials. So,
Well, you know, but let's think about the clinical trials. think about the clinical trials for the children. Is that something they want? They infect them, and then they're going to see how far they can go. They get some of them a cerebral. I'm not too much of an advocate of that clinical trial crap either. You know, you're talking about. I think we were talking about, you know, advocacy. Oh my God, don't you think that those children would need a hell of an advocate if they had something like that? You know. I
right,
don't
but
know.
that's what I'm saying. You know, some of them do have advocates in the form of their foster parents. But even in those cases, like there's one story about a woman who is a nurse, and they had been giving her HIV baby some kind of medication, and she took the child off the medication and said that the child was um, you know, performing better or feeling better without the medication. The state came in and you know and took the baby and took the child from her and said no, you know. And so they're forcing the situation.
Well,
Well,
the pharmaceutical companies are making money off of these children who are taking this the medicine that they're selling, that they're trying to sell. The pharmaceutical corporations are getting rich.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's an agenda here going on, you know, to make money off of these poor, marginalized children. And I also heard that this HIV, there's an HIV conspiracy going on, whereas that's how they can make money off of these
well,
marginalized children by saying they're HIV infected, and but the scientists on the other hand are saying, look, this is a viral disease, and these children can build up their antibodies to fight off. I think there's a cure now coming out. I understand someone came up with a cure saying in order to build up the antibodies to fight of infectious diseases. Well, when a child is born, they want us to start nursing our babies so that they can build their immune system. So
Yeah, there's so much bad information. It's hard to know.